The beacons are lit. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to some more Mount Blade II Bannerlord's content. Today, as we are only literally 3 days away from launch, including today, as they have, if you don't know, moved the release date a day earlier. So the game, instead of coming out on the 31st of March, will now come out on the 30th. So that is on Monday, and I believe they've given a time of 10 AM UTC on Steam. So you can, as soon as you wake up, basically, if you live by my sleeping schedule, you'll be able to dive in and play some Mount Blade II Bannerlords, play the single player. My god, I can't wait. I'll leave a link down below in the description if you guys want to check out their full statement. It goes through a lot more about what's going to be in early access, so I'll leave that down below in the description. But as we are so close to launch, I thought it'd be kind of cool just to dive in and take a look at one of the mods I am most looking forward to when harvesting season is here, and that is obviously the Kingdoms of Arda, I think is how you pronounce it. This is the Lord of the Rings mod that has been in development for a long time, and yeah, I just cannot wait to see them port their stuff over or into Bannerlords and see what they can do. Something the main modder did want me to mention though, before really going into detail into this mod and taking a look at their dev diaries and stuff like that, is that they're really unsure about what they can actually do when the game does come out, as they probably like 95% won't have modding tools until the game comes out of early access. So because of that, they're not sure if they're going to be like what they're going to be able to fully do when the game comes out in early access. Just keep that in mind, that this is obviously a long-term product, but Tale Worlds have always been such a great supporter of the modding community, and the modding community has been absolutely amazing for Mount Blade. So yeah, definitely very positive, but still, you know, this might take a while. It might just be multiplayer only for a while. I mean, who knows what's possible. We'll have to obviously just wait and see when early access does actually come out. So yes, this is the Lord of the Rings mod, and again, I'll leave a link down below in the description to their Discord and to this mod DB page if you want to check it out and read all of this stuff for yourself. So basically, this mod DB page just runs through everything they've kind of got in the, or they're planning to add into the mod, what they've worked on so far, what they're going to work on in the future, and a whole ton of other stuff. We can listen to some of the music and just basically take a look at some of the assets that they've already done, because a lot of these assets, I'll just click through a bunch of these, have basically been worked on you know, whilst the game has been going through its stages. I mean, if we just take a quick look at a lot of these, not this one, if we just take a look at a bunch of these images, we can actually see, you know, a whole range of these different you know, uniforms and stuff, which do just look absolutely amazing. Definitely some really high detail assets that have been, you know, been worked on, and if we go to the HD mode as well, we can get a bigger look at them. I'll actually probably put these over for you guys so you can get a much better look at them whilst I'm just personally clicking through. But yeah, all the assets look absolutely amazing. The quality of this mod is going to be, you know, just insane. The 3D modeling is extremely skillful for sure. And I think a bunch of these assets have actually been in Rise of Mordor as well. They're like switching a few assets here and there between the two teams, which is the Total War mod. So yeah, obviously 3D modeling is going to be amazing, but we want to know a bit more about that. So their planned features for the mod itself is obviously a Middle-earth campaign map. You can't really have a, you know, a Lord of the Rings game without a proper working campaign map. They obviously want to do multiplayer with all the assets, and that's probably what we're going to get our hands on first when this mod does get into Bannerlords, as obviously the campaign's going to take a lot longer, whereas the battles are going to be a lot smoother when it does come to just, you know, putting in a lot of the armor into the game itself. Is probably gonna, you know, be faster than, say, editing a bunch of stories and, you know, everything that's in the game. They're obviously planning on adding in a story mode, so this is going to follow the Fellowship. The game itself is set 2 years before the departure of the Fellowship, and in the FAQ, which again we'll take a look at in a second, they talk about how you can join the Fellowship. You can attend the meeting at Rivendell, the council at Rivendell, and pledge your sword, your spear, your shield, whatever you want to Frodo. You can also kill the company of Rivendell as well, and kill Frodo and prevent the ring from ever making its way to Mordor, which again is, yeah, really awesome. I love how they're adding in story, and that also does kind of fit in pretty nicely with what the single player for Mount Blade is going to be, as they have two modes, which they've talked about in the thing I mentioned earlier, which again I'll link in the description. How in Mount Blade Bannerlords you're going to have a story mode, which kind of gives you more clear objectives, and then a sandbox mode, which is just like have fun, the world is your oyster. So kind of this story mode would be quite cool, and you're kind of a good and evil one, a faction one. There's lots they can do. They also talk about, obviously, there's going to be loads of known characters from Lord of the Rings, for Hobbit, and other works of Tolkien. So that's going to be awesome. So you're going to see all the famous characters you know and love. And obviously all the playable races. We're going to have elves, dwarfs, men, orcs, hobbits, goblins, uruks, and hopefully a bunch more. There's a ton of creatures and other stuff that they plan on adding into the mod. So they have recently released, I think, a week ago or 6 days ago, they went ahead and released this right here, which is the kind of dev diary for the mod itself. And in here they talk about basically everything they've got so far in the mod. They start off with talking about the music, and the music is just absolutely spectacular. If we take a listen to some of this music, you're just going to be able to hear how awesome it actually is. Like, if we just take a quick listen, we'll jump like halfway through the track. Man, I almost don't want to stop it right there. I'll be having some music played in the background, and maybe I'll download these tracks and put them on in the background as well. The music just sounds awesome. I normally use the Rise of Mordor soundtrack a lot for my videos, but gonna have to definitely be using this music. Having this Lord of the Rings music playing in the background will be great. I mean, I imagine even Isengard has the horns, has the awesome sounding. It's just awesome. I love Lord of the Rings music with so much. Then after that, you can also listen to these music tracks as well. As I said, I'll leave the link in the description. They then talk about their UI. So this is going to be basically what the game looks like. Obviously, there's going to be differences. I'm sure they're going to change stuff, but for the most part, this is, I think, the multiplayer look of it, or maybe not. Maybe this looks like it is this is the campaign, sorry. So this is going to be able, like, how you're going to be able to kind of soup up your dudes and prepare yourself for battle. The armor looks great. I'm not sure if this is just kind of 3D like photoshopped. I think it is, but still, it's going to be amazing once it's actually in. Then they talk about more 2D art that they have actually that they've been working on. This is obviously like concept art to give them inspiration for when they're 3D modeling, and again, this all looks great, showing you a bunch of stuff. Hopefully we do get to see Sauron as well in the midst of battle. This is obviously with Black Númenóreans, but still looking awesome. You get to see Rohan. So this is some of the 3D artwork that they have now done. So you can see some of the glimpses. They also have an art studio station link as well, which you can go over, and they'll probably have a ton more. But this is just a few of them. Again, looking absolutely amazing. Taking a look at these images. They just look really high quality, as to be expected. The Men of Gondor right here. Again, the armor suit looks awesome. And then we obviously have the Fountain Guard. So this is going to be kind of the game design bit right here, where they kind of just finish off the rest of it, talking about kind of what they're planning on adding in, all the different factions and everything like that. So you can kind of take a look at this map, and this is kind of what I think they're planning on doing for the campaign map. So you can see there's a large amount of territory. It's going to be a huge map, and maybe they will plan in the first couple of releases of this mod to basically just add in parts, maybe just add in like Gondor around here, maybe Rohan and Mordor, and then kind of filter in as the campaign does expand, which will be very exciting. Then if we move over to the frequently asked questions, so right here you'll be able to basically just run through it and kind of get a really good idea about what the mod is planning, and I think they've answered a bunch of questions in the comments as well. So obviously right here, these couple questions where they're asking about the modern stuff, they talk about how can you mod a game that isn't even out yet. They talk about basically just working on 3D modeling and artwork and stuff ready to put into the game once it does come out. They also talk about kind of, the full release of Bannerlords, then they'll get a better idea about mod tools. So hopefully when Bannerlords comes out in the next couple of days, we'll have a much greater idea of what's capable, and obviously when the mod tools might possibly come out, depending on how much work is left to do on Bannerlords itself. So they obviously talk about as well the main focus of the mod, the direction they're taking. They're focusing much more on the Lord of the Rings and Games Workshop stuff rather than, say, the Shadow of Mordor stuff. Or the Lord of the Rings online stuff, because that's kind of a little bit in a different direction and they don't want to take it there. They also talk about when this is taking place, and we mentioned this earlier, but this is 2 years before the Fellowship leaves Rivendell. They then also talk about how they do want to add in more features that aren't going to be in native Bannerlords. Obviously, Bannerlords isn't out yet, so there's not a great idea about what extra they're going to be able to do, but still, they're going to obviously look to expand the gameplay mechanics as best as they can, as well as expand the map in every direction. Maybe they mention it that there. They also talk about how they want to obviously make it so that they can make every unit possible as unique as possible, and again, we've already seen a bunch of these assets right here. They look awesome, so there's going to be a great forming up the Gondorian army to defeat the orcs and so on and so on. They also say, can you reform Arnor, which is a big fat yes. That's going to be awesome to try and bring man back to its, into the 4th age and bring back the strength that can wield the great swords, and yeah, it's gonna be great. Also, you can join the Fellowship, which is nice to see, and you can kill certain characters as well. It is possible to kill everyone, which is great. However, obviously, the Nazguls can't be killed until Sauron is destroyed. So there's again great stuff in there. They then talk about if there will be there'll beast dragons and other creatures, and they basically say that they're planning on adding in some of these, but not all of them. Obviously, some of it will take a lot of work to do, and there's obviously more important stuff to be focusing on. They do say how they are going to be focusing on new skeletons, which is kind of like the way units are built in 3D modeling and stuff. So they're going to be focusing on stuff for hobbits, dwarfs, wargs, trolls, and goblins. And they also plan on adding in Gollum, which will be very exciting for the quest of the One Ring. There will obviously be capes. Capes are number one. They also talk about how there's going to be over 40 factions in the game, all with their own cultures. Extremely exciting. And then these will be the playable races right here. So we've already taken a look at that, and there will be mounts. So you can actually have a Mumakil mount. They obviously use plan. That's so exciting. So, and there's also going to be a crafting system. I think we've seen the crafting system in Bannerlords already, so that's going to be implemented into the mod. And they also talk about how every race is going to be somewhat different. The dwarfs are going to be much stronger with more hit points, whereas the elves and men are going to be more men are going to be better overall. Elves are going to be more agile. That's obviously going to relate not only to the campaign map, but also to battles itself. Also, they finally put a thing down here, just basically saying, can you help out the mod team if you're good at 3D modeling? They're always looking at 3D artists, and at this point, maybe they will be looking for some coders and other stuff. So if you can help them out, if you're a good 3D modeler or you're a good coder, hit them up on their Discord. Again, I'll leave a link down below in the description for you guys. But yeah, that's basically what I just wanted to run through today. Hopefully you guys got a good glimpse of one of the possible mods that is going to be coming out for Bannerlord on launch. If I just take a look at this really quickly as well, because this is something I want to show you. If we go over to the mods on moddb, look at how many mods there are already up, not ready to go, but are planned for this game. The list is endless. I even have 2 pages and the game isn't even out yet. I counted there's a Roman one, there's a Templar one, there's different models. There's going to be, I think I counted 4 or 5 Game of Thrones ones. There's a Last Avatar one. Oh my god, that's insane. Last Airbender one. Sorry, there's loads of medieval ones that you know and love from Mount Blade Warband, and other ones which are maybe going to be new to this. So yeah, the modding community is already popping off. I can't wait until Monday. I'm going to be live streaming the game, and I'm going to be playing a campaign, so make sure to tune in for that, and I will see you guys on Monday.